So this is a job that we haven't done for about 3 years. You can see this brown patch of weeds just sticking above the crop. This is blackgrass. And when you've got a patch like this, it's too much to pull by hand. We're actually spraying this off with glyphosate, but it means we're actually spraying the crop as well. So when you look now, you can just probably see on these plants, I'll pull that leaf, if it will focus on it. Just see that leaf, the speckles, the dark speckles on that leaf, that is the chemical, that is the glyphosate. So this crop here, this area, will actually go brown now and be dead. So these ears of wheat that we've got here will come to nothing, it'll all shrivel up. But the reason we do that is because one of these ears of blackgrass, that, if I can get it to focus again, that will have probably anywhere up to 500 seeds in that one ear, and all that will drop and make plants next year. This field has been bad in the past, we've hand roped it every single year, but these are the plants you get. Now when you're looking into the crop, there's just too many here to pull by hand, and what happens is you walk over it and you actually trample blackgrass in. You can see there it's starting to flower. Now I'll just show you how you pull that. That's the base of the plant there. So to pull this one, you grab it round by the bottom like that, pull that, and that's your plant of blackgrass. Now that would come from one seed last year, and I'll put that on the bonnet of my vehicle in a minute. You'll see how many. That is gone, that's taken that away, and that's what we'll do with the rest of the field, but there's too many there, as I've said, to pull. So when we go out, Ruben has sprayed up to that mark there. That's what I drove in there this morning. So we will hand pull. So that blackgrass there has not had any chemicals, so we will pull that. We'll go over the whole field and pull it. But just to look, that is come from one seed last year, and you can see last autumn, you can see the amount of ears on here. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12 stems of that blackgrass there. There could be up to 500 seeds in that one stem, or probably 200 at the minimum. So you can actually see the problem we've got, how if we don't stop that from seeding, the volume of seeds there are in the ground. And it always amazes me when you see the amount of blackgrass around in the country, how much there is. So I've had a few people ask me how have we dealt with blackgrass and what has our strategy been over the last few years. Well, it's a bit of a story, but I'll start at the beginning. It started in 2012, and we had such an infestation then. You had to part the blackgrass to see what crop was growing underneath it, in the middle of it. And so I took the decision then to spray off the really worst areas. There was whole fields and part fields, and we actually sprayed out 190 acres of growing wheat, and the wheat was at this stage. We'd got ears showing like we have here, and I took out the whole lot, and with no return, obviously, because it kills the blackgrass and the crop. And the reason why I decided to do that, because I found with experience, stopping seed return is absolutely massive. And you'll see by this video, or this photo I've got now putting up, the line here in the crop is from a field of an oilseed rape. Previous year I sprayed some off, but left a little bit because I thought it wasn't bad enough to spray the crop off. Then I put rape in it the following year, and you can see by the line in this crop how much we've got, in how much seed return we've got, because it's just huge. And this is how much blackgrass, the problem it causes. So that's why we spray off, because the blackgrass smothers out the wheat, and it just really knocks the wheat yield. And there's been some trials done, and apparently 100 ears per square metre of blackgrass will knock a winter wheat yield of 1 tonne a hectare, which is huge. And so we then started to do each year a bit less and less, and my aim was I wanted to every harvest to go make sure the combine did not combine any blackgrass, and we either did that by hand pulling weeds in every field or spraying off patches, or a combination of both. So at the very start, I got the farm divided up into categories, and our worst blackgrass fields I put into a red category, and they simply did not have winter wheat at all. Took it completely out of winter wheat. And then the next category was amber, and they're in the fields that blackgrass was less bad and not so destructive to the crop. And so they're the fields that we could control blackgrass in with cropping and delayed drilling. And I mean delayed drilling, I mean the 25th of October, not before. That's crucial. And then the other fields went into the green category, and they were the fields that we've never had blackgrass in and were completely blackgrass free. Now, over the course of the last few years, with doing lots of different things, I've got about 6 things we do. We have managed to downgrade some of the fields from the red category into green, sorry, into amber, and then the amber fields into green. So, you know, doing what we do has worked. Now, I will say we have never ever until this last year for 10 years planted winter wheat before the 25th of October, and it does make me smile when I get some farmers saying to me, oh well, your land can't be as heavy as mine, so if I didn't plant mine in September I wouldn't get a crop. Well, I'm sorry, I don't agree with those thoughts and that philosophy. You need to make your soil resilient and able to withstand some weather in September and October. And you've seen by the soil of our direct drilling day we had recently how heavy our clay soils are. But it doesn't worry me. If we don't get the crop in October and November in decent conditions, we just switch it into spring cropping. We do not maul winter wheat in, because you'll get a much better return from a good established blackgrass free spring crop than you will a very badly established blackgrass infested winter wheat crop. And that is very, very important. So I don't buy into the thing that you have to drill your land in September, otherwise you wouldn't get a crop in. And the other thing is hand roguing. We hand rogue every field every year. Yes, that costs us a lot of money. We spend in the region of £30,000 on hand roguing, but we use a lot less herbicides now because of that. And we can have blackgrass free crops for around £90 per hectare, so about £35, £40 an acre. And that's through a combination of pre-emergence chemistry, and when you only use a very, very basic pre-emergence herbicide of Defy, DFF, and one other one, Liberator. They're the only ones we use pre-emergence. I don't believe in any post-emergence herbicides, because I just don't think they control blackgrass. The only post-emergence herbicide we use is Roundup that you've just seen. So quite a bit of a fast run through on what we do, but please come back with any questions, and if ever anybody are near enough, you want to come and have a look around the farm and look at our blackgrass crops and or blackgrass free crops rather, than what we're doing, and have a bit more of a word, then please, or if you want me to visit your farm, I'm happy to do that as well. But the reason you've got blackgrass is because you've been doing the same thing over and over again, and it's the old Einstein philosophy. If you do that and expect a different result, it just doesn't work. So, bit of a run through on what we do for blackgrass, but we use delayed drilling in the autumn. We use when we do put wheat in late, we'll then put very vigorous high tillering varieties to help smother it out. Spring crops, do not put spring beans in a bad blackgrass field. Spring beans are very poor at competition, and the blackgrass will come through the spring beans. Either oats, if you haven't got a bad blackgrass crop, but the reason is oats, when I say if you haven't got bad blackgrass, because there aren't any herbicides that will control blackgrass in oats. You're just relying on the crop competition. So it's spring barley is the main one that I would use in a blackgrass situation, or oats. So that's really a quick run through on where we are. We'll look at this in another 2 or 3 weeks when we get the gang in hand roguing and show you what we do. There's Nala having a bit of a pull and helping me with some blackgrass.